In most places, a massive flood means the school year is pretty much over. But what if I told you that in Bangladesh, for some kids, it's actually just the beginning? Today, we're going to look at a totally revolutionary idea that answers a huge question. What do you do when your school gets washed away every single year? Well, you put it on a boat. Let's dive into this incredible story of innovation. Just let that sink in for a second. This one sentence from the architect Mohammad Rezwan just perfectly sums up the genius of his whole solution. It completely flips the script on traditional education to meet a really critical need. And this isn't just about making things easier. It's about making sure that learning can happen, no matter what the weather throws at you.
Okay, so let's start with the absolute core concept. What is this amazing project all about?
So here's the gist. In Bangladesh, the yearly monsoons are so bad they literally stop education dead in its tracks. Architect Mohammad Rezwan saw this happening and came up with a brilliant solution. Solar-powered schools that float. And get this, these boats don't just teach kids, they also deliver super important training to the entire community. It means that when the water rises, learning doesn't stop.
All right, before we get into the real nitty-gritty, let's go over a few keywords. These are going to help unlock the full story and show you just how special this project really is.
To really get this, a few words are super helpful. The whole idea is incredibly innovative, of course, but it's also perfectly appropriate for the local situation. The boats themselves have this cool arched waterproof roof, and they're fully equipped to accommodate about 30 students. The lessons aren't just reading and writing either. They cover local biodiversity and teach crucial skills like good hygiene. And the whole project helps communities become more self-sufficient by learning about flood-resistant crops and getting a handle on their financial lives. Okay, now for the main event. Let's really see how this incredible idea of a floating school actually works day to day. First, you have to grasp the sheer scale of the challenge here. We're talking about 1/3, a full third of the entire country of Bangladesh being flooded every single year. Roads disappear, thousands of schools are forced to shut down for months, and so many kids are just cut off from their education. That's the huge problem Rezwan was determined to solve. So his solution, which he launched back in 2002, is based on these traditional wooden boats called noka. But these are definitely not your average boats. They've got a strong, weatherproof roof with arched beams to handle all that heavy rain. And check this out, they're completely self-sufficient. Solar panels on the roof provide all the power needed for lights, computers, and even internet access. It's a complete modern classroom for up to 30 kids, just floating on the water. So what's a school day actually look like? Well, 6 days a week, these boats literally sail right up to the villages to pick up their students. They have 3-hour classes covering the basics, sure, but also really relevant environmental topics like biodiversity, which connects their education directly to the world right outside their window. And the learning doesn't just stop when the school day's over. Students get these solar-powered lanterns so they can do their homework at night, especially in homes that might not have electricity. Then, in the evenings, the boats turn into these little community cinemas, projecting educational films for the whole village. It's this amazing, holistic approach that really touches every part of community life. And this part is absolutely crucial. The project goes way beyond just the kids. The boats also double as training centers for adults. They offer vital lessons on health and hygiene, teach farmers how to grow crops that can survive floods, and even give classes on managing money. It's all about empowering the entire community to be more resilient. And the impact of this incredible idea has spread way beyond Bangladesh. Rizwan's model has been so successful that it's now being picked up by other countries that face similar flooding challenges, like Cambodia, Nigeria, and the Philippines. A local solution has turned into a global inspiration. It's amazing. Okay, we've looked at the problem, the brilliant solution, and the incredible impact. Now let's pull all these pieces together for a complete summary of this truly remarkable project. So, to sum it all up, Bangladesh's massive yearly monsoons would regularly flood a third of the country, shutting down education for months at a time. Architect Mohammad Rizwan's solution, which he started in 2002, was simple but totally profound. If students can't get to school, the school will get to them. His boat schools were designed to make sure learning never has to stop, no matter how high the water gets. These floating classrooms are just so cleverly designed. They're based on traditional Noka boats, but they're fully equipped for modern learning. They run completely on solar power, which makes them both eco-friendly and totally self-sufficient. Every day, they travel through the waterways, bringing a curriculum that's super relevant, everything from standard subjects to local environmental issues directly to the students. But the program's vision is so much bigger. It supports learning after hours with solar lanterns and community movie nights. And crucially, it also serves the grown-ups by offering practical training in health, farming, and finance, which strengthens the entire community's ability to bounce back. This powerful model has now sparked similar programs in other flood-prone nations, proving that a brilliant local idea can truly have a global impact. And that really brings us to our final thought. The story of the boat schools shows us that sometimes the best solutions demand that we completely rethink the problem itself. It really leaves us with a question, doesn't it? What impossible problems in your own community could be solved if we just dare to come up with a radical new idea? Something to think about. Thanks so much for joining.
Join Beyond Norm Input-Output Training, the best way to master English speaking and writing in Taiwan.